Right. Welcome, folks, to Dundalk preview. Probably the final one of the season. We'll probably do another one or two, will we, Dean?
Oh, sure, we'll keep her lit. I don't think it's on as often now as it is with the resumption of the flat season properly, but we'll still pop up now and then. Maybe look at the other meetings. Maybe
Yeah, we might do something this weekend, will we? For the Lincoln, maybe.
possible. Yes, quite possible.
Might make a
Depends
quick
what the,
video.
depends what the boss man there says. On the other side of the video there.
Yeah.
You know.
um, right. Crack it in. Hollywood Best Challenge. How did you do over Cheltenham, Dean? Where were you?
I didn't do that great on the Hollywood Beds challenge there, but in terms of winners on my own count, yeah, I was pretty happy with how it went. Finished well, and I think it was the highest I've ever been. It was 12th there on the Punters Challenge, and at Dundalk on Friday night I was really really unlucky. Actually, I had three winners and three winners, 2 seconds, and a third. So I had the crossbar a wee bit, but uh, happy enough with it.
Yeah, well, look, we'll be both aiming for the top 10 this week for sure. I know we're fancying similar horses in nearly every race. Um, yeah, if you do want to check out the Punters Challenge, all the links to that will be down in the description below. It's a bit of fun. At the end of the day, it's free to enter, or if you do want to play for money, you have to deposit €10 or pound into your betting account. But like I said, it's a bit of fun. You're very familiar with it now at this stage. Um, yeah, Dean, we'll get into the Dundalk preview then, will we?
Yeah.
Awesome. Right, folks, welcome back to another Dundalk episode. We have been recently asked how we pick our horses for Dundalk by one or two people. And for me, anyway, I tend to focus strongly on the form. I think we all do similar sort of ways to picking out horses. Um, but going on form, you're looking for form from all weather tracks and else they've raced and what maidens they've came in, what handicap races they've came. Alan, what about you? You probably focus on something similar, do you?
Right. Yeah, just we're looking to know just how I pick my horses. Probably I'd look at handicap marks, see is there anything that is maybe handicapped well on previous runs, maybe come back to maybe a month ago or 6 weeks ago. And I'd probably watch back a few of the races as well and see where they've come and run at Dundalk before.
Yeah, for me, lads, it's kind of something similar to yourselves. Like I watch Dundalk closely every week, as I would say most people do. But along with Ryan, what you say there, and Alan, what you say, handicap marks. For instance, like last week, I had Wild Shot put up. It's somebody. It's a horse I've been keeping an eye on after he reached his peak at his peak mark last season. And now he was slowly dropping back, and he was back off a winnable mark, and he is off a winnable mark for the next two runs in my eyes. But it's all about form, looking back at races, seeing what finishes out strong, second, third, maybe even fourth or fifth, what could hampered. There's loads of different ways, of looking into how races went. And sometimes if you're watching the markets and you see something come for a bit of money and maybe it doesn't have the best of draws, or if it gets hampered a wee bit turning in, it can always be one to watch the next time out. So there's loads of different ways to do it. Everybody's different, but that's how I kind of keep track of mine. Handicap marks as well.
Yeah, I completely agree with both of you. I do the exact same. Watching races back, you can see horses that are finishing strong, what fiddle out. Maybe they might go over a shorter distance the next time. Some interesting jockey bookings like Claymores coming on, getting the weight down to a winnable mark or whatever. Yeah, sure. Look, we go through it each. We have our own ways, and we'll get right into this episode. So the first race is the 425. It's a 7 furlong claimer. I am going for Kindred Soul here. Kevin Manning's riding for John Feen. She has been absolutely flying since coming to Ireland. She's not been out of places in her 3 runs at Dundalk. She's come first, second, and third. The third was over this distance. And yeah, look, I think she is well fit for that extra furlong, the 7 furlongs. And at 3-1, I think she really is the one to beat her.
Yeah, Ryan, I'm in agreement with you there. There's not much else to be added on. It was unlucky. It won a claimer 2 starts back, was unlucky then in a handicap last time out. Now, for anybody watching, handicaps are definitely a lot tougher than the claiming races, and Kevin Manning back on board. Siobhan Rutledge gave him an absolute peach of a ride last time, but just started wandering around a wee bit and got done late on. There was no shame in it. There was no hard done by. I think they'll be out here and they'll probably win this as well. 2-1 there at the minute. Big price.
Yeah, lads, look, I'll follow you in. I fancy Kendred Soul as well. She's one I've been keeping a close eye on. Back in the claiming company, Ryan, as you say, and up to 7 furlongs. Look, the 7 furlongs might be a slight question mark, but she's a good draw and stall too. She looks like a filly on the improved. She's uncomplicated, and I think Kevin Manning might be just able to track the pace. He might hold on to her a little bit longer this time around and try and deliver her maybe inside the half furlong pole or that. But 3-1, I think it's a very fair price.
Yeah, I love the name of the syndicate that they have, the Handbrake Down Syndicate. One to be keeping an eye on, Macaulay. He's got 5 horses entered into this. He's definitely going all out, isn't he?
Yeah, well, they'd be big supporters of them claiming races as well. Anything, it's always worth keeping an eye on James's horses anyway. They've chalked up a couple of winners there and a couple of good runs recently, so definitely anybody watching them worth keeping an eye on.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him come close, especially with nearly half the field. The 455 is a 1 mile 2 maiden. For me, the Aidan O'Brien one is the eye catcher here, Sir Lamorak. This horse is also entered into the UK and the Irish Derbies, also the Irish 2000 Guineas. Look, that says it all, really, doesn't it? Obviously, rate high. One to definitely watch for this upcoming season. 6-5 looks fairly decent if can bring it to Dundalk.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat there, and I just think a horse like that holding some pretty decent entries. I know Ballydoyle and Aidan probably enter a lot of theirs and the big races, but to be even considered worthy of an entry in all of those surely means that this lad has a bit of potential. The other one I was looking at there was Oisin Orr's Mount McTaffy. I thought he might have been a wee bit of a bigger price. You could have played him each way. He's in around 11-4. I definitely see them two being the first two at home and the race tomorrow night.
Yeah, look, I agree. Again, look, it's not too often we agree flat out on first two races, but Sir Lamorak really catches the eye. Dean, yeah, you mentioned McTaffy there. Look at Sir Lamorak on debut when he was 5th at Bolshoi Ballet. McTaffy actually finished 3rd in that race. Sir Lamorak then was 4th, Arturo Toscanini on a 2nd start. Now, I watched that race. I probably watched it 3 times now lately this week. It was on really heavy ground, and Sir Lamorak looked to absolutely hate it all the way. He was niggle along, couldn't really get into straight. Look, he stayed on to finish 4th. He was very one-paced. I think we'll see a much different performance on this surface. Shamey Harfin and booked. Look, at 6-5. I don't know whether that'll last too long, but I'd be happy enough with 6-5.
Yep. We'll move on to the third race. It's 45-65 handicap over 1 mile 2. For me, never missed a beat for Jarlath Fahy, Ronan Whelan's riding. He is up £3 from his 2nd place finish to Every Hour on the Hour, who is running in the next race after this. So that would give that one a big form boost if Never Missed a Beat would win. Never Missed a Beat is back down in trip here and is in stall 9. I think 4-1 looks relatively decent.
Yeah, look, Ryan, I'll follow you again with that. Never Missed a Beat was the one. Look, it kept on well when 2nd Every Hour on the Hour over 1.5 miles, as you said. It was very impressive over 1.25 miles the time before. But the one slight negative I have is now £15 higher. I just think they've probably done the right thing here. They freshened this horse up. He ran well off 57 the last day. Look, 4-1 again. I know people wouldn't really tend to play each way if it's 50 odds, quarter odds, whichever bookmaker you're playing it with. But look, at 4-1 for me, I'm happy enough with that.
Yeah, I'll go against it this time, lads. I like Storm Elsa. Have done for quite a while. You could really draw a line through the run last time. Nothing kind of seemed to go our way. the regular rider Luke McAteer back on board here, I think it will be the main danger. And they're 12-1. I think it's great each way. I actually took 4 places at 10-1, trying to go for a bit of extra security on it. But one just that catches the eye there is Believe Jack. For Elmarie Holden. It's not often you see Elmarie Holden with a runner at Dundalk or on the flat for that instance. She's better known for selling the likes of John Bond and some other highly rated superstars, Francis Seal there, who moved to Molly Mullins after romping home at Christmas. Could be one to keep an eye on as well, but I like Storm Elsa each way at 12-1.
Yeah, completely agree with that, Dean. That did catch my eye as well. Marie Holden going on flat and at Dundalk. When was the last time we seen her at Dundalk, or did we ever see her at Dundalk? The only worry for Storm Elsa for me would be out in stall 17. Drawing the car park doesn't help.
Yeah, I know that there, but it is over a mile 4, is it? Or mile 2?
Mile 2.
Mile 2. Should be able to either push on and get handy from that wide draw, because it's right on the first bend, or be able to take a hold and drop on. So, I wouldn't bother me about the draw over that wide or that distance.
Yeah. We will move on to the 6 o'clock. It's over a mile 4. And everything in me wants to say Shaun Massar, but just what John McConnell said to us on the Irish Race Now about Wildshot being fairly well handicapped is quite hard to ignore, in fairness. And he is on a nice mark too. And Siobhan Rutledge is going to claim £7 and did win well last time. So 4-1 for Wildshot. I'm going to go for Wildshot.
Yeah, he touched on speaking to John McConnell there as part of the Irish Race Now. Like I said in the opening part of the video, this is a horse who I've been tracking, and I like to keep an eye on him because he's one that can win you money every year as long as you get him on his handicap mark. He was dropped down, and then with Siobhan's claim, he was dropped well down. She's still claiming he's obviously got the mandatory penalty for winning last time out. I think this horse is good, like I said earlier on, for at least another 2-1s, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him going and romping home here again.
Yeah. I'm going to go slightly further down the market, lads. Just one, Jim Bulger trains Kevin Manning rides, horse called Hook Head. Now, this one probably has one of the most interesting form lines of the night. Started 9-2 in his debut at Navan in a race won by High Brazil. The horse that actually finished second on that occasion was Zanahiyr. And we've actually seen Zanahiyr go on and do very well over hurdles this season, ultimately beaten in the Triumph Hurdle. The 4th horse on that occasion was Hint of Stars, who was trained by Jessica Harrington, has won 3 in a row for Kevin Philip Artois over in the UK. And the 5th, Lily Milena, has also come out and won since. Now, I kind of watched this horse, watch back the next 2 runs in maidens, 25s and 40s on his next 2 starts. Look, it was 2 deeper races. Interesting, he makes his handicap debut here. And I think looking at the breeding as well, he's likely to benefit from a trip. I'd watch the market. I think I've seen 14s, probably a fair each way price.
Yeah. And just going back to Wildshot there, Siobhan's £7 claim, I think, makes Wildshot the bottom weight.
Does, yeah.
Yep.
Wildshot is in there 9-6. She claims 7, just takes her to 8-13 or whatever it is. But it was interesting as well, listening or talking to John. He mentioned that Siobhan's actually a couple of ones away from losing the 7-point claim. So she'll be down to 5 then. So hopefully this can be one of the horses to take her there.
Yep. We will move on to the half 6. It's over a mile. For me, Katina Zapata, Henry de Bromhead, obviously Cheltenham Gold Cup hero, or Cheltenham hero in general. Wayne Lorden is riding here. One last time out over course and distance was very nice that night. Erwin, who was 3rd in that race, came out and won next time out from Joseph O'Brien's yard. And yeah, I think he's got to have a chance here in stall 4 over a mile at 6-1.
Yeah, that is a great maiden there. Or that's a great race. Is it a maiden?
No,
maiden auction. Like that's a good race there, because how often do we see Aidan O'Brien sending horses up to Dundalk? You'll only really see them up there if there's them big qualifiers for like the Kentucky or whatever like that on. So he's got the earlier ones are Landmark we're on about, and this one. But I actually like Cecilia Clementine for Chris Hayes and Kevin Prendergast. Now, we've seen them team up last week. Alan, me and you both put one of their horses up in the Al Maktoum colours. And again, now I've Chris Hayes I'm a massive fan of anyway. But they had another one run really well at the Curragh at the weekend, and it just faded out late on after being off the track for a long time. So the horses are in good form. I just think this horse, there's a lot to like about him. And they're 15-2. You could play each way all day there.
Yeah, this is a kind of tricky enough race for me. The one thing that I've noticed, though, Rebel Step looks to be the only one that has run recently. All the rest of them are coming off maybe a 100-day break. And I think Rebel Step, he was fourth in the Patton Stakes last time out in his first run since October. Now, he has the beaten the San Martino from a Thurles run where Rebel Step received £12. Can he improve off the back of that with the fitness on his side? I think he probably can. A lot of these are coming into the race. They're going to be first time on the track, like first time on the all weather. I'd be happy enough to take Rebel Step 9-1 to show that he has the race fitness on his side, and he might just be a step ahead of these.
We will move on to the 7 o'clock race. Darkest Hour for me, Sarah Lynham's training. Dylan Brown McMonigal is on his back here. He is definitely going in the right direction. Finished second last time behind Silk Cravat. Is interestingly only raised up £1 for that, and I think he's going to go very, very, very close here, if not win, at 10-3. I do think he will win, to be honest.
Yeah, we spoke about this before on our previews, like about these apprentice races. Like, they're very hard to get a gauge on some of the, how well their chances are. You're kind of judging off the best jockey bookings, and that's what I'm going for as well. I tipped up Pride of Pimlico last time as well. It was really unlucky over a distance that was a furlong short of what he needs, if not 2 furlongs short. Luke Mackett here on board. It's a bit of a bad draw, but I just don't think this lad's done with winning yet. He was unlucky last time out. The horse had been seen to do nothing for a couple of years. But first start in the all-weather seemed to relish it. Second start definitely wasn't disgraced. I just think there's a lot to like there. He's in there 5-1 as well. 5-1's good enough value. Even if you're playing and you go each way, you're still making your money back if it comes in the top 3, sure.
Yeah, I'm following that actually line of form, Dean. I'm going to go with Sense of Worth for Andrew Oliver and Conor McGovern. Second in handicap debut behind Pride of Pimlico, but give £13 to the winner on that occasion and only gives him 10 this time around. So £3 better off for half a length. Now, Dean, as you mentioned, Pride of Pimlico drawn 17, Sense of Worth's drawn in 9. Like, look, up £3 to 61. I think it'd be very hard to keep out of frame at 4-1. Wouldn't be surprised if we weren't far off a 3 cast here, lads, because it's a tricky enough race, but we're putting up 3 close enough in the betting.
Yeah.
On to the 7:30. I was torn between 2 here. I was torn between English and Irish Acclaim, but I have gone for Irish Acclaim. Scott McCullough is claiming £5 off. Richard O'Brien trains. Look, he finally has a fairly decent draw. He's been quite unlucky with the draws this year, but when the Gelvin, it did him the absolute world of good. He went on and won twice now since that. Doesn't have major power in this race either, which helps, obviously. And I'd say he's definitely got an each way hope at 12-1.
Yeah, 100% in agreement. We couldn't agree anymore. As you say, this lad's been unlucky with draws. Been drawn in the car park 2 or 3 times. And the time that he came 9th was, I think it was over a wee bit shorter as well. So like you can forgive him for that run. I think, as you say, massive each way value, 12-1. You'd be all over him each way. And as you say, since he's been gelded, he's had a new lease of life for the Kingdom's Thoroughbred Syndicate. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, as you say, if he's bang there hitting the frame again. His last start, 4th there, he was only beaten maybe just over a length. That's people might look at the thing and say, he was 4th last time out. But if you look at it, like, he's not beat by far. So 12-1 by price.
Yeah, like probably I looked at 3 or 4 in this race. I kind of coming down on Prisoner's Dilemma for Johnny Levins and Donald O'Connor, particularly just because Togoville's in the race. we all know Tocqueville likes to get on with it out front and likes to go on and set a decent enough pace. Prisoner's Dilemma has won over Further and was second in major power last time out in his first run for 3 months of a mark of 79. I thought the handicapper was a wee bit lenient. Only put him up £3.82, but he drops back and trip. Now, the big thing for me is how far Tocqueville goes in front and sets that target. We know Prisoner's Dilemma stays further. I think he could be the one finishing late and fast, and he might get up close home.
Yep, good shout. What price is that on?
9-2.
Good price. Into the last race, the 8 o'clock. Again, I'm going for another Richard O'Brien horse. Fifth in a very good looking maiden last time out, and was third to Devil's Outlaw and Benevente before that. Devil's Outlaw was a bit of second night it's going about him, and Benevente went and finished fifth in the Patent Stakes. So the form is fairly there, and making his handicap debut and drop down to 6 furlongs, I think he's got great chances at 9-2.
Yeah. Again, I'm like a broken record, Ryan. I'm agreeing with you there. Loso for me as well. As you say, everything that you've mentioned, I would touch on as well. He's got a great draw. Billy Lee's on board. Might tell you that they're going to maybe drop him in and come late, because I think Billy Lee's a master at that there. He's like, I refer to him as the Irish Jamie Spencer, because Jamie Spencer's great at dropping a horse in and just getting to swip late and one. Billy Lee's the exact same. Really, really good race. I was torn between Aloso and Dreams Delivered for Darren Bunyan, because Chris Hayes, as I say, Chris Hayes is a man I would follow, especially around Dundalk, and I think he's going to have a big season. But I'll take Aloso at 9-2.
Yeah, I think we'll end it how we started. We're all in agreement on Aloso. Look, there's probably a couple of small things. Has to give weight to the whole field, dropping back to 6 furlongs. But for me, I just think it's a major drop in grade from what he's been contended against. The 5th of 14 last time behind Diderot. Dean, I know we mentioned Ham would Flyer on that occasion for Jessica Harrington. I think that was a very, very good maiden. This doesn't look, for me, it doesn't look the strongest handicap to be starting off in. I just think that form behind Benevente and Devil's Outlaw is far too good, and I think he'll have far too much class for this field. I'm shocked at the 9-2. I thought it'd be a lot shorter. So I'll definitely be playing at 9-2.
Yeah, look, how many races have none of us agreed on anything about 2 there?
Yeah.
Sums up the whole card, really. Nap, next best each way, boys. Finish it off.
For me, I can't look past Wild Shot again. Just think, he's on that mark, and he's going to be winning. And if he's not winning, he's going to not be, definitely won't be beat by much. Maybe my next best will be. Where are we going? The next best, Kindred Soul, maybe, and then the Claiming race in the very start. And my each way of the night is definitely Irish Acclaim, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, my nap of the night's going to be Aloso. Look, I think he should be a lot shorter. I think he probably will be close to the off. My next best is going to be Sense of Worth in the handicap for Andrew Oliver and Conor McGovern. And each way, I think that form, just if you go back and look at it behind Zana here, I'll take Hookhead each way in the 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm going to map up Kindred Soul, and next best, I'll say Katina Zapata in 6:30, and each way I'm going to agree with you, Dean, Irish Acclaim in 7:30, 12-1.
Yeah,
perfect.